You've been told rich people just work harder, that they got lucky, that they inherited something. All of that is a lie. The truth is stranger, and it's going to make you uncomfortable. Rich people do 33 specific things in a completely different way from everyone else. Not bigger things, not flashier things. The exact same daily decisions you're making right now, they make in reverse. And that reversal is the reason their bank account compounds while yours leaks. By the end of this video, you'll know every single one. You'll catch yourself mid-broke decision. You'll feel the shift. Some of these you're going to wish you'd known at 22. Here's what nobody explains clearly. The gap between rich and broke is not income, it's defaults. Every person runs default settings for how they spend, how they wait, how they respond under pressure, how they think about time. Broke defaults and wealth defaults are opposites. Most people inherit broke defaults from childhood and run them on autopilot for 40 years. Rich people flip those defaults at some point, 33 of them. Once you see them, you cannot unsee them. Let's pull the first one apart. Number 1. When money lands in a rich person's account, it gets a job the same day. Every dollar is assigned. Nothing floats. Broke defaults let the money sit in checking, unassigned, unprotected, waiting to be absorbed by whatever tab was open in your brain. Money without a job becomes money that walks. You don't lose it to the big purchase. You lose it to the slow drip of unassigned dollars. That drip is why your account feels empty 2 weeks after payday, and you cannot explain where it went. Number 2. Rich people buy time. Broke people buy stuff. That's the whole game, and almost nobody plays it right. An hour handed to you is fuel. You can burn it scrolling, or you can convert it into a skill, a system, or a relationship. Stuff depreciates the moment you bring it home. Time compounds the moment you invest it. Most people never run this math. That gap is everything. Here's where things get sharp. Number 3. Silence under pressure. Rich defaults go quiet when money stress hits. They shut the door, they think, they plan. Broke defaults do the opposite. They vent, they complain, they call 5 people, they post about it. Venting feels like release. It is actually leakage. Picture the moment. The bill arrives. The balance is wrong. Broke defaults reach for the phone. Who can I vent to? Who can I call? The story spills out before the solution forms. And every word of that story is fuel burning on the floor. Number 4. They track. Not with complicated spreadsheets, with a pulse check. Every wealthy mind knows, within a few $100s, exactly what sits in their accounts. Broke defaults avoid looking. The balance becomes a monster under the bed. Avoidance feels like protection. It is actually how small leaks become structural ones. Number 5. They charge more than feels comfortable. Every single time. Undercharging is a tax you pay for being scared of your own value. Quick interruption, and it matters. If what I'm describing is starting to hit, if you're catching yourself in 2 or 3 of these already, the deeper breakdown of how rich defaults actually get installed lives inside my free wealth blueprint. Link below. It's the 30-minute reset I wish I'd had at 25. Grab it when you have a quiet moment. Back to it. Number 6. Rich people say no. A lot. Most people underestimate how often a wealthy mind declines invitations, opportunities, even offers that look good on paper. No is a protection mechanism. No preserves focus. Broke defaults say yes because yes feels generous. Yes feels safe. Yes avoids confrontation. Every yes outside your core priority is a no to the thing that actually compounds. Number 7. Delayed reaction. The car breaks down. The project falls apart. The invoice gets rejected. Broke defaults react in the first 90 seconds. Rich defaults wait. They let the panic wash past before they decide. The first reaction is almost always the most expensive one. Number 8. Rich people ask who. Broke defaults ask how. When a problem lands, the wealthy mind scans for the person who already solved it. Broke defaults start Googling. Start trying. Start burning hours on something someone else already mastered. Who is faster than how? Every single time. Number 9. They stop measuring worth by salary. They measure it by leverage, ownership, and optionality. A salary tells you what you are worth this month. Leverage tells you what you are worth for the rest of your life. Broke defaults chase the raise. Wealth defaults chase the asset. Salary is a ceiling. Leverage is a floor. Number 10. They do not perform effort. They do not flex the hustle. They do not post the grind. They conserve the energy for where it actually builds the asset. Performing effort is a broke default. Results are a wealth default. Number 11. Rich defaults invest during fear, not during hype. When everyone is scared, they are buying. When everyone is euphoric, they are trimming. This is why rich people love a crash. Number 12, they charge even their friends. Yes, even them. Here is why. Broke defaults discount the people they love because it feels like love. The wealthy have learned that undercharging trains the people around you to see you as cheap. Cheap is repelling. Premium is magnetic. Here's where I want you to pause for a second, because if you're still with me, I need to tell you something that took me a long time to understand. Every single thing on this list is free. Every one. Not one of them requires more money to start doing. Not one. Which means the gap between where you are and where they are is not financial. It is behavioral. It is the difference between running broke defaults and running wealth defaults on the exact same hours. Same income, same starting point. Read that twice. That reframe is the whole video. Number 13. Rich people keep their wins quiet. Broke defaults announce every paycheck, every bonus, every deal before the ink dries. Announcing a win often kills the momentum behind it. The brain treats the applause as the reward and stops working for the outcome. Quiet keeps the fire hot. Quiet keeps the next win cooking while everyone else is still clapping for the last one. Number 14. They build relationships before they need them. The wealthy always have warm contacts for the problem that hasn't happened yet. Broke defaults scramble to network only when an emergency lands. Number 15. They automate their discipline. Willpower is a leaky bucket. Every decision you make by hand drains a few drops. By the end of the day, the bucket is empty and you're making broke decisions without even noticing. Automation is a sealed bucket. Automatic transfers, automatic investments, automatic reviews. The decision gets made once, then removed from daily negotiation. You stop arguing with yourself about money and let the system run the money on your behalf. Number 16. They study richer people than themselves. They are the dumbest person in their circle by design. Broke defaults gather comfort peers, people who affirm the current state. Wealth defaults gather the uncomfortable ones. Before we keep going, one thing I want to mention because you've stuck with me this far. The deeper conversations about installing these defaults, the ones that go past a video, happen inside my school community. It's called the 1% Club, school.com/VYBO. You will find people actively replacing broke defaults with wealth defaults in real time. Jump in when you are ready. Next one. And it changes the math. Number 17. They think in decades. Broke defaults think in months. A decision that looks small right now compounds unrecognizably over 10 years. The extra $200 saved each month is nothing this week. Stretched across a decade, it's a different life. Rich people run every large decision through the 10-year filter first. They ask, will this matter in 10 years? If the answer is no, they move on. If the answer is yes, they lean in hard. That filter alone erases half the noise in a normal person's week. Number 18. They do not chase cheap. They chase value. Cheap often costs more than expensive because cheap breaks, cheap repeats, cheap replaces. The wealthy pay once, broke pays 3 times. But here's what surprised me the most when I started stacking these side by side. Number 19. They sit with discomfort. Boredom, silence, a hard conversation, a day where the numbers aren't moving. Discomfort is the tuition for growth. Broke defaults sprint from discomfort toward distraction. Every sprint is a missed lesson. Number 20. They treat income streams like rivers. One single river is a risk. When it runs dry, the whole household goes dry with it. And every broke household in history has been built on one river. The wealthy have 3, 4, 5 small flows feeding the reservoir. A little from a job, a little from a skill on the side, a little from an asset, a little from something they wrote or built once that pays them forever. No one stream is massive. That's the point. Stability comes from spread. Number 21. They do not argue with people operating on broke defaults. The argument is a trap. Time spent defending wealth logic to someone running scarcity logic is time extracted from the thing that actually builds the wealth. Number 22. They read. Not motivational content, not headlines. Real material on how money, systems, leverage, and human behavior work. 15 minutes a day stacked over a decade produces a mind that cannot be replicated by someone who scrolled the same decade. 2 people start the same day at 25. One reads for 15 minutes. One scrolls for 15 minutes. At 35, they look at their lives and cannot figure out why the gap feels so wide. The books did it. Number 23. Rich defaults say the number first. In a negotiation, whoever says the number first often anchors the entire deal. Broke defaults wait politely for the other side to offer. Polite waiting is expensive. Number 24, they close loops. Unfinished tasks drain energy invisibly. Every open loop in your head is a small tab running in the background of your life. Each one burns focus you need for the thing that actually matters. The wealthy mind closes small loops fast, so the big loops get the real focus. Number 25, they protect their mornings like a vault. The first hour of a rich person's day is rarely handed to someone else's agenda. Broke defaults open the phone before their eyes fully adjust and immediately begin responding to other people's priorities. Mornings are the highest leverage hours you own. Give them away, and you give the day away. This next one is the one that took me the longest to accept. Number 26, they stop blaming. Full stop. Not their parents, not the economy, not the timing, not the industry, not the boss. The wealthy mind holds the line at personal responsibility even when external blame would be completely valid. Because the second blame enters, agency exits, and agency is the only currency that buys the climb. Number 27, they sleep. Sleep is compound interest on cognition. Broke defaults treat sleep like lost productivity and wear exhaustion like a badge. The wealthy treat sleep like capital. Every hour rested is an hour of sharper decisions the next day. Every hour stolen from sleep is an hour of expensive mistakes you're making in the morning without knowing. Number 28, they stay with boring. A rich portfolio is boring. A rich routine is boring. A rich business model is usually boring. Broke defaults chase novelty, which bleeds energy and bleeds money. Boring is magnetic. Number 29, they do not explain themselves to people who will not get it. Explanation is debt. Explanation eats time and hands-free influence to someone who did not earn it. Number 30, they build systems, not hustle. A hustle is a person running fast on a treadmill. A system is a person who set the machine in motion, stepped off, and let the machine run without them. Hustle burns out. Systems compound while you sleep. Every wealthy person you can name is sitting behind a system. The hustle gets you paid today. The system pays you forever. Build the system. Number 31, they stop chasing respect. Respect is a byproduct of building something that cannot be ignored. Rich defaults understand that chasing respect is a broke behavior. Building is what earns it, silently. Number 32, they thank the struggle. Not the romantic version, the actual version. The years of being overlooked, the seasons of tight money, the rejections that stacked up in the inbox, the nights of lying awake doing mental math that never worked out. The wealthy look back at that stretch and name it as the installation period, the period where the real wiring got laid. Nobody builds wealth without that period. Nobody. And now the last one, because this is the one that flips every other thing on this list from information into transformation. Number 33, they decide they are rich before they are. The identity comes first, the behaviors come second, the money comes third. Broke defaults wait for the money to arrive before they change the identity. The wealthy flip the order, and the flip is the whole secret. Once the identity flips, the 32 behaviors above become effortless, because broke defaults and wealth defaults run from the identity beneath them. Change the identity, and the defaults follow. Picture it. Monday morning. Broke defaults look in the mirror and see a person waiting. Wealth defaults look in the same mirror and see a person arriving. Same mirror, same morning, same bank account, different wiring. Look around your room for a second. Look at the phone in your hand. Look at the last 10 decisions you made with money. How many ran on broke defaults? How many ran on wealth defaults? Be honest with yourself. That ratio is your trajectory. Here is the recap, short and sharp. Rich people assign every dollar a job. They buy time. They go quiet under pressure. They say no. They wait before they react. They automate discipline. They sit with discomfort. They think in decades. They close loops. They protect mornings. They stop blaming. They decide first and earn second. That is the rewrite in one breath. And here's where it gets interesting. Because once you start flipping these defaults, your brain will ask the next obvious question. What is actually keeping the broke defaults locked in place to begin with? 22 specific mindsets that are quietly keeping most people broke. That breakdown is next. Tap it and keep going.